it's only consumed my life for about a week. So yeah, I think, there's actually been a lot in the news, and the Exchange 0 day is definitely dominating the conversation. So it's actually not one 0 day. It's not one vulnerability. It's actually chaining of multiple vulnerabilities together. The thing that's different about this, it's kind of very reminiscent of shell shock. If anybody remembers shell shock, it was a very unauthenticated, easy to exploit vulnerability, no authentication, really serious repercussions, systems ownership type of things. The difference between shell shock and the Exchange 0 day, which makes Exchange a level above, is the level to which attackers have been automating the exploit of the vulnerability. This is, there were signs that they were exploiting it before Microsoft actually patched, which means if you're an MSP and you've patched, but you haven't done the assessment as to whether or not you were exploited, you need to go back and do that analysis because it was being exploited before the patch. And once the patch came out, the attackers were basically in a race. And for the first time, we're actually seeing mass exploitation in an automated way, across everyone that has a vulnerable instance. Like without abandon, if you have a service that's open that's vulnerable, very easy to scan for too. Nmap has extensions. There's all sorts of tools popping up on GitHub. Very easy to detect those things. They're getting compromised left and right. So obviously, step one, get your house in order, patch your stuff. If you can't patch your stuff, Andrew actually shared a link with me over the weekend. Additional guidance from Microsoft on different mitigations, which are kind of somewhat impactful. But if you absolutely can't patch, but you can turn some services off, there's some stuff you can do there as well. Definitely do the analysis as to whether or not your system is running web shells. There's some Yara rules that were put out in the CISO alert, which was posted in Cybernation. I'll put it here again. I think that's the right one at least. You can run those Yara rules. If you don't have a Yara engine, grab it off of VirusTotal, package it up with a set of scripts, shove it out to your endpoints through RMM, and run those Yara rules. Get your data back 100%. Now, the other thing I'm going to encourage you to do is the same thing I encouraged you to do during the SolarWinds Orion incident, which is ask your vendors. Talk to your vendors, do your third-party, fourth-party risk assessment, and say, do you or anybody that you rely on to provide us critical services know of exposure to your to the Exchange 0 day? And so, we're doing that with our vendors now. So we by the time you come to us and ask for fourth party, we'll have an understanding of that. But third party, right? Every single one of your vendors should be able to tell you now, did they have an instance that was vulnerable? Was that vulnerable instance compromised? If so, do they understand what damage or what the impact might have been to you or to your organization? Don't just stop at getting your house in order. Check your supply chain as well and make sure that they're good to go as well. So I'll drop some more links in chat as we bring them up. I know Andrew brought up obviously the Velexity blog where they first published some information. I know Huntress put out a pretty decent blog as well. And the Rapid7 blog has been really good. I've been so busy today, I haven't been able to see if anything else has come out, but there's a lot of good information out there already. Read those resources, use those tools that have come out, and this is if you haven't actioned this by now, you should right after the cyber call. That should be the number one thing that you do.